Hello, my friends and spiritual family. We are back to another week, the grind, the countdown to not just a new year, but a new era. No shift. It's starting today. I'll talk about it. We make decisions, and I'm going to talk about how this week we fly through it. New reality, and it happens really by the time of the show. We'll talk about that. Plus, we're giving away 2 on-screen readings today. If you've registered for our site, we have pulled you out of a basket and you might get a reading. So the only thing you have to do is be no. And lastly, we're going to have a whole bunch of readings this week. In fact, I'm happy to talk about Christopher Miller is going to be here tomorrow. And I guess there's peace talks going on between President Trump and Ukraine. Wow, we have a lot to talk about. I'll see you inside.
Sirius Joy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. Sirius Joy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
You started your business for freedom, but somewhere along the way, it turned into chaos. You're trying to fit your unique vision into someone else's blueprint, and it's leaving you feeling overwhelmed and second-guessing your every move. That's exactly why we created From Chaos to Clarity, your 12-week live business intensive. We give you the courage to claim your voice, the clarity to build your unique framework, and the conviction to lead your business your way. You'll get live power hours to hone your strategy and weekly accountability sprints to make sure the work actually gets done. Stop following, start building. You don't need to do it all alone. Clarity is closer than you think.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Sirius Joy Alive. I'm Sensei Christopher Witecki, the Sensei to Sirius Joy and more. Pleasure to be here with you. We're doing live shows right now for a variety of reasons, but mostly the biggest reason is you. Spirit has told me for a while now that we're going to go through a chaotic period. And we all have already started to feel that. I mean, presidential issues, of course, and now, trying to get involved in foreign wars. Honestly, from what I hear, it's going to get quite distracting. And it really starts today. We'll talk about it. It's step 8 Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is a step 8. So this is what we call a Grandmaster Day. That means that what you decide today is it. Every year on step 8, you decide what you think of yourself. In fact, really, we should call today Judgment Day, because this is the day where people tend to judge themselves. I think it's kind of tied up in New Year's resolutions, right? I know my Judgment Day, I get on that scale and I'm like, oh, I am fat. There's my judgment. And then I feel spend the whole year thinking just that. So what I've noticed that whatever I'm doing on New Year's Eve itself, I find that kind of represents a theme for the entire year. As we are committing ourselves, we don't realize it, but there's something that is just a base commitment energy. It's called Capricorn, the I decide state of awareness. It's the 8th step in the 11th steps to Sirius Joy. And it's a step where it's necessary to materialize anything. You have to commit. You have to commit because I guess God doesn't want us change opinions or our minds halfway through the miracle. Today it's time to commit. And what you're committing to is actually a way you want to feel on the inside. That's what you're committing to, how you want to feel. And that's really all it comes down to. I mean, they say all commercial television is based on feelings. They say all product marketing is based on feelings. It's true. Even if you say to yourself, I want to have this great life or this, and this, what you're actually constructing is something that would feel amazing. What you're wanting is the feeling of it, not so much it. And honestly, that's the way we need to focus anyways, because when you want to manifest something in your life and materialize it, the universe speaks in feelings. Feeling is a sensation of a vibration. So we talk about this at SiriusJoy.com every day. I'm coaching people on the dynamic of how it works. But in essence, when you're either reading the vibration of self from the past, or you're reading the vibration of yourself reacting to vibrations, or we're reading the vibration of somebody else, but we're always reading a vibration, which is what Aquarius is about. So a sensation is a feeling of a vibration. And we have what we call emotion. That's another thing. An emotion is all sorts of feelings and how they'll interact with each other. This is the nature of conscious reality. So back to today. Well, in the step system, step 8 is I decide, which is pretty much get set. So you know the old on your mark, get set? Well, from step 5 to 7, we're on our mark. Step 8, get set, go. And that means that today we get set, we go. And from what I tell, I have to watch some other astrologers. I've been so disconnected from any pleasure taking myself, which is a pleasure, but still, I'm not sure what other astrologers are saying about this, but what I can see very clearly is from this point forward, the fuse is lit. You guys have seen that movie, What's a Mission Impossible, where it's like lights the fuse, it's like dun 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 dun, and the fuse is sort of lit, and you're like watching this fuse. That's what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow we light the fuse. And you might wonder, well, when will it all blow up? When will it all take off? The answer is step 9. On your mark, get set, go. What is get set? We're in Capricorn. That means we get set. And so that means, yes, go will be in April. In April in Aries, the sign of go. So it's get set January, go in April. Although you'll see some movement in late March, you're telling me as well. Now, this is why we're all here right now. This is an epic moment in Earth's history. I've been incarnating on this planet from the very beginning. And we've basically been a hot mess the whole time. After Atlantis fell and Lemuria, we have been to the basics, making our dishes out of clay, starting from the very basics of humanity. And we built ourselves all the way back up, really almost to the same point we were at Atlantis, although Atlantis had better technology because it was cleaner. But at the end, it was more dangerous because it used Mother Earth's energy, which is why it ourselves up. A lot more power than new. But we're about the same point now because Atlantis was just at the point where its government was going corrupt. It was at the point where the government was actually changing people. They were forcing DNA change the population, trying to make a dumber population for work slaves. It got kind of dark. I'm not saying it's happening now. I'm just saying where Atlantis was. And we're at a point where, a small fraction of the establishment was actually controlling the whole majority. And that small fraction of the establishment was actually being manipulated by an alien race, believe it or not. I know. It'll make a good movie. But the point is that karmically, the Earth is now in the same place it was, power to create or destroy itself. And so it's in that power ability to create or destroy, the humankind is not quite certain what to do. Are you like that? Because if humankind's that way, that means we're that way. Do you find yourself when you have all your power that your first instinct is to sabotage it? First instinct to go in a great place. I mean, people sabotage it because they're emotionally uncomfortable being in their power. You better plan for some time to get used to it because it's not that easy. Even if it's a small amount of power, like you're running the local post office, it's still power and it has a different feeling to it. So people either sabotage it, they abuse it, thrive. Those are 3 areas. Sabotage it, abuse it, or thrive, right? You can't really coast with power. Everyone's waiting on you. So we're in that position again. Atlantis was in that position and they sabotaged it. Brought it all down. Humans are in that same place now. And because you are a citizen of the collective, you contribute to the story down here. What you decide today is 1/1 billionth of the vote, or whatever the number actually is. And so it'll be democratic in that sense, that the majority of the frequency will be the winner in the big era of things. Right now, there's a small amount of people tied to something in power that have been trying to control all of us. And we're at a point where we are either going to continue allowing that to happen, in which case it's too late, we'll be able to turn back at some point, back. And taking our power back has nothing to do with picketing or boycotting or writing letters to your congressman. Taking your power back means that you literally today in your life, You're a microcosm. You're a little drop of water of the pond, that you take your power back where you are, with you. That is mankind, because it sends ripples and vibrations everywhere. And I have to say, I'm amazed at the example of my own astrology. I don't know how it works. I don't have time to sit back and analyze my whole self all the time. But what I find is I practice this stuff as far as understanding astrology and the stories. And I'm usually so busy, I don't think about myself. And then when I turn back to look at myself, I'm like, I'm exactly where I predicted for Taurus. I'm exactly where I predicted for Leos. Nothing has tried to do it that way. You know, sometimes you're waiting on other people to answer. Sometimes you're waiting on other people to speak up. But yet, still it happened. I find myself, well, you're going to see, I'll tell you and be honest, like I have had a hard time the last 3-4 weeks. I mean, last week was very difficult. I was sick every time I was on the air. I'm still sick and getting better. It's from my neglect and me not being in control properly. So I want you to know that I may have an answer. It doesn't mean I always practice it. And I'm learning how to practice it. We can do this together. And that's why the show's on the air, so that we can come together. You have a voice you can come to, a family you can hang out with 5 days a week, and just kind of feel that it's going to be okay. And just to go to bed at that night feeling like it's going to be okay. Because when somebody who's in power decides it's okay for the whole world. Okay? This is a reading show. This is a learning show. I do live readings on the air, which I love, by the way. As far as I'm concerned, I love to talk about it and analyze what's going on. Well, you may be new to this. You might be. If so, we have a couple of answers for you. You can put a quick little reading on camera. They are 3 and 5 minutes, basically. And then we have a 15-minute one as well. So we do have a timer. We count down. We try to be totally democratic. And if you're kind of shy, then just come anonymously, ask your question, give us your astrology information, and we'll, on screen today, give you an answer. We even have the ability for you to buy the video if you want and have a copy of it. I think it's a great thing to do. Now, this is the site here to my, I guess, left, my right, your left. Basically, you just go to the site. You'll see Sirius Joy Live. And then as we scroll down, there are 3 options to choose from. We have just one question that you ask and I answer on the air. One question and a follow-up, which means you hear my answer, and then we wait for you. Our producers wait for you, and then live follow-up from you, which is cool because interaction is awesome. Live viewer guest. You can come as a viewer and as a guest. By the way, you want to come on and promote your soap company? Come on. You can do anything. Now you have to ask a question, but that's okay. You can ask a question about your business. You can ask a question about your product. But this is a great vehicle to affordably advertise to other people who are in the lightwork business. Now we only allow lightwork businesses to advertise. In other words, you have to be a do-gooder and do no harm to the world. Ultimately, doesn't have to be spiritual. You could be making of your own, or you could be, anything under the sun, as long as it helps people's lives be better. If that's the case, come on, advertise. In the world, 15 minutes or $165. Nowhere. And by the way, that's a business write-off. So you might consider those things. But we're also starting a tradition as of today, where we're going to actually give away 2 free readings, and we're going to do 2 free readings every day. So if you register for our site, and this is can be done at the site we just showed you, SiriusJoy.shop is the URL, SiriusJoy.shop. You'll see at the bottom you can register to be on our email list. If you register, every day we're going to pull 2 names out. I'm going to name who the show, and if you're watching at that time and you come back to us, you'll get that reading that day. If you're not watching and you miss it, well, you're going to be recycled back into the bunch. Who knows, we'll pick you up again. I think it's a fair way to handle it. That way, there are people out there who can work their God magic, ask for a miracle, and pray like crazy to be the winner. And by the way, if you pray, my first assistant executive is psychic. I have a whole team of psychics. And so they're going to feel that. In the message. Praying wouldn't be a bad idea if you really want to win a free one. Now, these will be, of course, our 3-minute ones. Every now and then we'll do a 5 and a follow-up. But I want to give away, too. I want to give away readings every day. So people show up to get the free reading. You won't get it the same day. So if you register today, you may not get the reading today, obviously, because I'm always going to say the names at the top of the show. That way people who want on waiting to see if they won before they buy, right? You haven't won today. I'll tell you right now, if your heart is wanting this, get it. Okay? To do this is a very unique time. I'm going to be in this. I can promise you I'll be in this position through the crisis. Okay? And then that's all I can promise. I mean, that's all I can see in the future myself. But I'm here for you, and I love you, and I'm proud to be part of your life. So thank you for being a part of our life. Do we have the winners, or that's my question? Yeah, we're having some problems with technology. We're trying to pull it off to be on all networks. Yeah, here's the first question. So we'll dive into this first. Terrific. Cool name. 0-degree Pisces sun. Well, that's interesting because Pisces is the sign of spirituality and the other side. 0 is the gateway. So this is a person who can master gateway between worlds. So this person walks between the worlds. Whoops, we lost that person. Can we bring it back up, please? I see what we're doing. Okay, gotcha. The sun. Oh, so we have a step 22 Capricorn rising. So 22 is a cosmic wizard number, who is a bit of a wizard right away. And the step 20 Aries moon. So right away, just by the nature of those 3 degrees, a wizard. This person understands how to manipulate reality. They may not understand how. Good thing you're watching us. We'll teach you. But you have a lot of power, sir or madam. Complete collapse of identity in my marriage in July of 2024. I can't roll anymore. After the past lives and karma program in Sirius Joy, he's referring to, in 2023, I started having vivid dreams and memories of my past life lover and lover until date. Oh my gosh! So you remembered the life you had with that person. Second part of this question. Is there? Where is all talking me? Let's see. Where is all taking me? Oh, where's it all taking me? What do you see new for me? I can't live in the old anymore. Okay, so this is the second half of that question, right? Because it could be the end of anything. Okay, can we go back to the stats again? Basically, where's it all taking me? Well, first of all, you have a Capricorn, which means you have Cancer at 22 degrees in relationships. And Jupiter right now is retrograding Cancer, and Jupiter is the sign of expansion and growth. So believe it or not, you still haven't grown out of this old relationship type. And you're probably looking for the wrong things. When we say, oh, he's not my type or she's not my type, you're thinking probably about physical attributes or the fact that they steal or they have a good job. But that's not really what a type is. A type is a person that complements, usually fills in your holes. You have an issue in particular with self-nurturing. You are a person that needs a lot of nurture yourself. You're very good about cutting, rising, and telling the world to stand back, but in your relationship, a hard time with discipline. You have a hard time disciplining yourself emotionally. You have a hard time growing emotionally in certain relationships. You tend to lose yourself emotionally in your partnerships. You don't separate them. Well, the fact that you're still dreaming about a past life lover who became a present life lover is the proof exactly. You haven't cut the ties with this particular person. You have emotional attachments, not maybe mental attachments or physical, but emotional attachments. That 20-degree Aries moon, the 1 to 20, means that you're learning how to put a boundary 0 around your feelings too. That is the sign planet of. So in essence, you have some issues with boundaries. And although you're a Grandmaster 0 there at Pisces, I don't get the sense of you. I think you forced yourself into 0 this lifetime, so you became an expert overnight, kind of being pushed in the pool, if you will, forced to swim. And so I think the issue here is boundaries. You have to decide where you end and that person begins. Now, I know that sounds kind of vague, but it's not. So for instance, if you still expect him to say he's sorry, or she say she's sorry, I don't know the gender here, so forgive me, then you actually don't have a good boundary. If you need to hear from them, you don't have a boundary. If you want to hear from them, depending on how much you let yourself, but you maybe don't have a boundary with yourself because you're letting yourself fantasize about something unhealthy for you, let yourself walk down a road that's not healthy for you. So that could be a boundary problem on the inside. But in essence, I think what has to happen is, and this is what I tell any client in a reading, by the way, I would say, you've got to take an inventory of how you feel every day. So imagine every morning you go into what we call the vault, which is a sacred space in your life. It's like having an altar, but you're not worshiping anyone. You're basically only worshiping you. And so just you in spirit. Excuse me. Still healing. Don't let your insist, kids, you want to be private in that space. In that space every morning, yourself, how do I feel today? What feelings are coming up? And each feeling, you imagine pouring that like water into a glass. So you basically have room full of glasses where you're going, okay, I have this feeling for this past person. I'm feeling jealous about this. I'm feeling angry about that person. I'm feeling, jealous about that. I'm feeling tired about this. I'm feeling fed up over here. And you just fill your glasses with all your feelings. Now, that step alone is probably the problem. You probably don't take the time to have inventory and separate your feelings. Result, all of your feelings are feelings. So when you have a feeling about being jealous, and then the old, ex calls you and pulls on your, your heartstrings over here, well, then your jealousy might get fanned when it's not supposed to be. You're letting this feeling here affect that feeling there. That is misappropriation of emotional energy. And so what you're learning how to do is to be very distinct about each feeling where once. If you do that for 40 days, where you take inventory of your feelings, then after 40 days, you're going to start to see a new level of seeing, okay? You have not been able to come to conclusion. You didn't have the data. And the data was how you feel about this versus how you feel about that. In some cases, feelings share topics. Some cases, they don't share topics. It's okay if they touch, but they're different categories. They have different beginning, middles, and ends. They have different, lifelines. And we're going a little over time here because it's a good question. And so as a result, you don't realize that you are codependent, or you are too needy, or too greedy, or you can't make emotional conclusions because of the data to add it up, because you haven't separated your feelings from one thing from another. So the first thing to do is to do that, to separate your feelings. Now, once you have done that, you have incredible power you can step into, because that 22-degree rising, whoa. First of all, you need to know that attracts conflict. So you attract conflict. Car accidents will happen right in front of you. Someone will get into a fight right in front of you. Conflict happens around you. It's not you causing it. It's that you're attracted to it. You're here to make conflict into a peaceful solution. But right now, you're not in that power role, because until you can calm the conflict down inside you, you won't have the conflict outside of you. So you have a very tough situation. You're emotionally sensitive, feelings officially, but you're oversensitive because you're not really managing them correctly. And so you're a sensitive, shut down person, and who happens to wander into conflict all the time. But I think you're going to be a great light worker if you want to be. You'd be an excellent diplomat. And where's this all headed? Well, to answer your question more fully, Jupiter has to go through your 7th house before you will have anything of substance when it comes to relationship. Right now, if someone wants to date you, date. You have a lot of learning to do. You've got to see other examples. The one is not going to come right away because you're not wise enough for the one. You're not at the level that you're supposed to meet the one at. And I know that because Jupiter has not transited your 7th house, and Jupiter is the eye opener, it is the awakener, until it has completed your 7th house cusp, to the 8th. I don't feel the right one will be here, but I do think you'll be very popular, drawing a lot of good feeling about the person. You should date them, because a lot of times a date is about exchanging information. It was never meant to be real. It was never meant to be romance. I just need you to talk to this person. And a lot of times the way God gets to talk to people is to be attracted to them. Men sexually, women more long-term. But that attraction, you think is sexual, or you think it's long-term partnerships, but it's actually God going, you two need to talk. And so I think that's what's happening. All right, that's a good conclusion. That was a good question, by the way. We all learned a lot from that. And all right, so let's announce our winners. Okay, so we don't have the full name for our winners today, but we have their email address. And so we're going to give it out without giving out the finder. Actually, it's 2 winners, Sarah Jean. 2 winners we're doing, because most may not be here today. Okay. Well, actually, the way we're going to do it, I'll just put it out right now. Every day we're going to give away 2 readings. Okay. Now, the way it works is we'll also throw the name of a 3rd person out. That's the person. That's in case the first 2 don't show up. Then we have a backup person. What will happen is, if you don't hear your name and you don't respond to us during the show, you lose the reading. It's a have to watch, have to register kind of thing. So come register with us at SiriusJoy.shop. Put your name on the registry. We'll pull out of that every day. We'll pull out 3 names. Well, now today is the start of the show. We're a little late. And then if you get back to us, within that, we will give you the reading either today or in the next available slot tomorrow or through the week. So we can always book you in the future too, should we not get to you today. If no one responds to our alternate, the third. If the third is here, we'll give them the reading. If the third is not here, we'll throw them back in the pot also. So that's our attempt to do the best we can to give readings a day to help the world out. And like I said, pray. You pray about it. My guides will tell me. I'm telling you, and I will know. I can't tell you how many times where I have a client and they'll say to me, I prayed for you. And I was like, I know. I felt it. It was like nagging me. Okay. You prayed a little too hard. I was like, you kept pumping up like things like the bathtub. No, the truth is like, I can feel strong desires. Just like partner desires. It's the same kind of feeling. And it's not necessarily sexual. It's not for a different purpose. But my point is like, if you really want a free reading, then pray. Pay. Because we're doing this also to help Sirius Joy. We're at a very risky point, just like everyone. We have really worn down our banking reserve. Sirius Joy could any moment just sort of go away, honestly, financially. That's because people got scared with Trump. They stopped spending money, stopped putting investment on themselves, and so things have dried up. It's also because we're between sessions. Whenever Saturn goes into a new sign, we always have a school of students leave and students come. It's weird. It's like really Saturn is the determiner of the class. So the old class is left, the people who don't need us anymore or they have to go on to another chapter. And the new class hasn't quite survived or come back yet. Or come in yet. So we're in between moments. We could use your help. Buying a reading not only gives you help, helps us, keeps everything going, and us broadcasting for one more day. So the other way you can help is to join our service. We have an amazing service. I do more commercials so people can understand. You have never had any service like Sirius Joy. You will feel like I'm right there over your shoulder watching your life. People get freaked out at first because it's too intimate. It's like I know too much about you. And a lot of people kind of panic at first. But then they realize, oh, this is a good thing, because I'm just here to help. We're just here to help. Once you start to see your patterns, once you start to see the cycles and the rhythms that you're stuck on, 1 month of service, you'll start to see things repeat, and then they repeat, and then they repeat. And you realize that life is just a number of circles, and cycles that we do over and over and over again. Every time we do it, we have an opportunity to do it differently. Most of us do it the same, but that's what it's about. The personal sensei service is always telling you where you are and where you're going. We also have a daily pep talk where I talk in the mornings. We have Good English on the weekends, and I give you 25 minutes. And these pep talks have been good, actually. I wanted to can we go to my share real quick? I'll share with you guys and see what I'm saying here. What's this? It's in Chrome. Yeah, we got some live. This is it. Here's Sirius Joy. Yeah, in Chrome. Yeah, Sirius Joy in Chrome. Yeah, can we go live for that? Yeah, this is our pep talk, by the way. Every morning we do a pep talk, and you get this beautiful graphic, and then you can see here's the actual audio. It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. DJ now, so I'm like looking for music and find the perfect song. Then you also have some basic information about yourself, like where your sun currently is, where your moon currently is today, and then we summarize your stories. You have 3 stories. But then at the bottom is the comments. This is what community is, and it just looks like we've got a lot of good people really liking the music. Amazing pep talk. Love the new intro. People are happy at Sirius Joy every day. Now, maybe you need to say, I don't expose my clients too much in their names. If that's the case, we're here for you. We are ready to rock. We send you 7 messages a day that are based on you. You get a daily pep talk with that. That's an audio access to all sorts of other content. I can't go into all of it here, but we've got reports for yourself, your Mega Monthly, your Love and Lust report, which tells you how you like to love, how you like to lust, connecting to the community, and then all of our edutainment, these different shows. 4 Days of Self-Love is a program we've had. We do live theater events. We have our tea times from the past, Secrets to Manifestation, teach you how to manifest. This is all same price, okay? It starts for $3.99 for the first month thereafter. It's more than worth it. We don't charge enough, and it will change your life. I guarantee that. It will change your life. Give it a try. Personal Sensei at SiriusJoy.com. And when you go to that, you'll see, let's go to our mother page here. The mothership, the front page, I think. Here we go. Whoop, it moves around a lot, which is cool. Here you have the 5-day forecast right here. This is always seeing days ahead of how you're going to feel for everyone. This is a mini scope that we do every day for free. And then you have a board here. This is all based on your astrology chart. So you can spend in different parts of your life. We've called the conscious breakfast every day, the mindful lunch. So I'm checking in with you several times during the day and sending these messages based on your chart. Tonight's sky tells you how the night's going to be. I sleep intention, something to fall asleep to at night, fall asleep thinking that keeps you on your course. This is the life coaching of Sirius Joy. We're in our 10th year, and we're about to come out of beta. Believe it or not, we're access to our shows here. As you know, Sirius Joy Live. Then I have, of course, LOL with Scott Cruz, Astro Mingle, and the old Namaste Today, with yours truly. So these are on the front page. Actually, everyone in the public can see that right now and watch that right now. Here, let's see if I can sign out. Can I sign out? Let's see. Log off. So it looks like when you're a stranger. So when you're a stranger, you can do two things. You can register. That gets you in. And then at the end of the registry, you can sign up or not. Now, here's the thing. This is what I'm here showing you this. I'm going to start putting our shows, these on the page, because I'm going to start adding astrological data for free to the audience. So in other words, not now, don't quote me on it just yet, but SJ Live, Sirius Joy Live, you'll live, because if you have registered, not even paid, if you've registered, we will actually be giving you some information about who you are. Because when you register, you give us your full date of birth and all your stuff. There's a lot of reasons why I want to do this. One is because I want the traffic on my site, not YouTube. So we've had a lot of problems with social media. They don't play fair. And so we got to move traffic back to our home. We got to go home to the mothership. That's one of our main primary things. But secondly, I can't tell you about your chart on YouTube. I can't tell you about your chart on any of the other social media platforms. You're going to come to my house to get this kind of full service. And boy, will you be shocked. I know everything, and we can do all kinds of stuff. So there will be more and more cool, dynamic, free features for just watching the show. And if you register, even more cool shit. And then if you sign, even more, because our subscribers and clients, they get this every day. I'm always their chart. My favorite message of the day is called the eye candy. At 3 o'clock your local time, I always send you something you probably didn't know about yourself. A little eye candy, right? A little something sweet about who you are to love yourself a little bit better. All part of the service. But we are in a place now where the world's going to be rocked a bit. And you're going to need it. We'd like to be that. I think it'd be great to take a little break and come back with a message and another reader. Is that okay?
At Hair Intelligence, we believe that every strand of hair has its own voice and needs. By combining ancient wisdom with modern biochemistry, we create pure, organic solutions that work in harmony with your hair's natural biology for optimal hair health naturally. By choosing simplicity, sustainability, and science-backed natural solutions, we help our clients transform their hair, whether it's repair, regrowth, or simply radiant, healthy manes they seek.
All of her products have completely changed my hair. I like to call it magic in a bottle. So if there's one thing that she knows, it's hair.
Before using Karen's products, a few years ago, I struggled with various hair challenges, including alopecia, and now I've overcome them, and I've just fallen back in love with my hair.
Get your best hair with clean, organic products that are catered to your hair's unique health and longevity. Get 20% off your first purchase at Hair Intelligence by entering code SiriusJoy20 at checkout. Rediscover your hair's true potential.
Happy holidays! I'm Sanandra, founder of Sichi Organics. For the past 30 years, our goal has been to bring the healing power of plants into your everyday life with simple, clean, organic skin and hair care made with love. Sichi makes a wonderful gift for the holidays. Enter code word JOY30 at checkout and you'll receive 30% off any individual Sichi skin and hair care product.
Happy holidays!
Sirius Joy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. Sirius Joy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now. Sirius Joy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. Sirius Joy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
Hey, everybody. I don't know if you caught that. SiriusJoy.academy. Maybe we can go there, actually. But that is our sister school, our sister brand, where we teach everything. I have classes up there. It's also where we have our, and the one they were just advertising there. Let's see here. Except just Joy Academy. I don't know if it's going to go. This is Sirius Joy Academy. This is where you can buy the certificates we're talking about. You can buy someone else access to our service. You can buy gift certificates for our service. 3 month, 6 month, and 6, 9 month, and a year. Okay. Now you might have a teenager who's kind of gone rogue, doesn't listen anymore, or you might have someone you're trying to get through to. Like you keep telling him and telling him and telling him, but not hearing you, and you're frustrated because he just won't listen. I'm telling you, that's what the service is about. Sirius Joy will send that message at the right time. They will get the message. These messages that come to you are personal. They're cool. They're different. They're very strikingly like to where you are almost embarrassed how accurate they are. These messages I send. So it's a perfect gift for someone for a birthday or whatever. They lay down a credit card, but we don't charge them. All right. It goes out pre-charged. So it's a perfect setup. Come on down to Destroy.academy. We'll be having our next season opening up here. I know I've been teaching the self-mastery mastery class, so Mastering Self-Love, actually the title of it. And this class is sold out right now. Over 200 people in the class, so it's big. And we are practicing the mastery of self-love every Sunday. Really well. Let me tell you, people love it. You might want to consider getting into the next session, which will begin as soon as this one ends. This one's designed to end right before April, right before the shit hits the fan. So the next class I won't have is until April. But at that point, we'll see how many students we can accommodate. Classes every week. I talk about a different state of awareness. We look in your chart. Then we do interviews with each other. I put people in the same breakout rooms according to their chart. So this last weekend, it was everyone who has a sun in the first house is in this room. Everyone has their sun in the second house. That room. And so people get together and questions that are targeted better and strike the astrology perfectly. And so what happens is you're in a room full of people who are exactly like you. And you end up seeing many different ways people do the same thing you do. Many different opportunities to do it differently. You also end up hearing a lot of creative ideas of how to solve your problems because you'll hear somebody with the same issue and how they solved it right there. It's bringing knowledge to the knowledge. It's peer-to-peer learning. And it's all designed around the step system, believe it or not. You might want to take that 16 weeks is what that is to get someone to self-mastery. Here's the scholarships we're talking about. You can give it again, 6, 9, and coming out next February, the second edition of Intro to Step Astrology. This is me teaching the basics, big class. It's A, B, C, D, E, and F to cover all of it to get the basics down. We come on down and take a look at this second session. So we've done A and B classes. We're doing C and D classes starting in February. So something to look forward to. But I don't want to make this whole thing commercial. Let's do a reading, shall we? Take away our screen share and just think about us. Do we have that second question? Oh, okay. One more question. Great. So y'all, if you wasn't read today or answered, we translate. Not if you happen to be watching, you should do it. If your gut wants it, do it. We can take it live today. I know I've already had visions of where this. It will be nearly impossible to get a question answered in the future. You are lucky entry level. Don't be shy and don't be white knuckled around $40. Come on. I can turn that $40 into 40 million if you follow my advice. All right. So our question goes out to Sherry. I have a cough drop in my mouth, by the way. I apologize, but that's what I'm dealing with here. That's what I'm dealing with. Sherry's a Sagittarius, Sun, step 15. So let's bring it back up. Oh, Jasper? Okay, now right to Jasper. And okay. She's a Sag Sun, 15 degrees. Aries Moon. We got a lot of Aries things going on today, right? Aries Moon at 7 degrees. That's usually step 7, Aries Moon, and step 24, Scorpio rising. So I'll just say right away. I just want to say, I can't do screenshot. The 15 nets to a 6, very open. Your moon's at 7, so your feelings are very open. And your Scorpio rising, although it's Scorpio and it's a master, 2 + 4 = 6, your rising is very open. You are very open. For some reason, we only have that timer with Jasper for some reason. So, okay, just tell me in the private chat. We'll make this work someday. Okay, so here's a question. So you're a very open person. Just put that out there. Maybe a little too open, all right? Or too closed because you don't know how to stay open and closed. I've been feeling a lot of shifts in regards to my Chiron and healing old traumas. What is next for Aries and Chiron if these are healed? You keep mentioning that we are healing much of our past karma. So what is next aspect? Our next aspect to heal? That's a great question, actually. I think everyone watching is going to be grateful for this answer. Let's talk about the whole world first, and then we'll get to you, Sherry. The whole world has some backed up karma. We have a lot of backed up karma. The problem is that, we only just Earth with this advanced civilization exists. It's a fantasy, allegedly. Back down to basic level. The solar system itself went through a dark age, which means that basically, if you want to think about psychic awareness or God awareness, like a cell phone, dark ages is where most of the towers went down. And so human beings, when they got here, did not have access to talk to home. We could not talk to our higher self. It took a lot of time and focus to have prayers connected. It took a lot of energy to reach the towers at the top, which is the company of heaven. And so in the dark ages, we came down here. We almost immediately forgot what this is about. Life seemed to be very random. And we didn't know we were creating the life we were in, of each other, hurting each other, basically in the dark. But those who come down know fully well that's what this story is going to be. And it's even kind of cooler to kind of go camping with electricity, right? So that's kind of what we were doing. Well, point being, we got really damaged during the dark ages. And it's only been in this century where we have begun to open up our psychic awareness. It was with Neptune in Pisces, with the combination of Pluto and Capricorn, that combination, which we had in the last 10 years, Neptune and Pisces opened us up spiritually, okay? Capricorn allowed us to let go. Aquarius at the very end of it. So the last time Neptune was in Pisces was during the American Civil War. During the Civil War, Neptune was in Taurus. We were opening up to our higher understanding of our karma, but we weren't able to leave the earth because Pluto and Taurus had us gripped to the earth. It kind of made us focus on values and money and things like that. So we couldn't ascend during that particular ritual because when you open up the skies, you need kind of cooperation. We're going out of your time, Sherry. We're going to go late with this one because I'm going deep. Point being, we are now in a place where for the first time, this lifetime, human beings, they have strong faith about who they are. They can feel the vibration. We can feel the interaction. This is why this is the dawn of the age of Aquarius. And Pluto in Aquarius, now that we're already open to our psychic side, now Pluto is opening up to our metaphysical side. The metaphysical side is the conscious engineering that connects you as a soul to you in this basically video game. That's what this is. It's basically this is one of God's best video games, Earth. One of the best. It has the longest line waiting for it to get on the ride. Not kidding. So that said, everyone has not had a chance until this life to clear up the trauma. And the problem is you are everything. You are reality. So you can learn about how to ascend like Jesus, but if part of you is still upset with the Civil War, or upset with your anything, that part of you does not go to the higher part of you. And so you have one leg out of the boat and one leg in the boat. So close these stories down and become no longer upset about the dark ages, which was training time. That's the first thing. And that's what you've had to do like everyone else, okay? Now, in the case of your particular generation and being an Aries are going through a profound change also. Because this is a change of an era, the Aries race itself is changing. When an Aryan, which is the culture that discovered astrology, again, we had it in Atlantis. I was astrologer in Atlantis. But when they discovered it, they looked at Aries as a certain way. They were examining Aries as the barbaric Aries, the Aries that was here for survival, the Aries that had gone to that had resorted only on the root chakra and no necessarily intelligence, brute strength, size, mass. These are things that got you far in the old age. And what Aries were lifetime, Aries are putting down that old age of Aries kind of personality. And I always joke about it. Aries were, in age of Aries were actually the dogs. You were the gladiators and the emperors, and you were the egomaniacs that really made it even darker. But you kept us alive. And that Aries wasn't awake. So you really didn't have the opportunity to be an Aries that was super spiritual or was super giving in those past lives. You didn't have access to those higher frequencies. You only had access to lower root chakra, was what you rule. This lifetime, Aries had a new opportunity. We just recently had Uranus go through Aries, right? Before it went to Taurus. We've had Saturn go through Aries, of course. I mean, Saturn's about to go through Aries, excuse me. We've had, I'm thinking of Neptune, right? So, no, actually, I'm getting confused about the transits. Was Saturn? Was it Uranus? No, it was Uranus. I'm thinking about Uranus. Uranus was the real big stir pot for Aries. Oh, Chiron. Forgive me. So we've had Uranus go through Aries, which basically scrambled you and got you to let go of those old, root chakra parts of yourself. And then Chiron has come through Aries, and Chiron is a great healer. So Chiron's been helping you guys realize that you're much more than your battle wounds. You're much more than you have been in the age of Aries. And so now as we get to really where your sun's at 15, so Chiron has crossed your sun already. But the question is, how close are you to your Chiron return? Chiron returns to the place it was when you were born. I don't know if you're a Chiron Aries person. Chiron Aries generation, also known as the Gen Xers. The Gen X generation is ruled by Chiron and Aries, and they have Pluto in Libra. And so the Gen X is about healed. Gen X is about complete with their healing. And Gen X took their healing much more seriously than other generations. Because when you have Chiron and Aries, it's because you in the past life screwed up. And so you feel bad about it. You went far. So all Gen Xers are, bad guys in past lives. They did things that they're not proud of. And they come here to fix their record. But they had to first fix their guilt. And Gen X was, you had to heal yourself and get over your guilt and find your strength again. This time when you come into power, you will do good things and not bad things. In some cases, not always bad things. It's you missed the ball, you didn't make it, you failed. So getting back to you, what comes next? Well, that's a loaded question, as you can hear. Because for Aries at large, you're a Saturn sun, but your Aries moon is tied to this. All Aries are going through a big change in Aries, period. So every Aries is forced to change, first and foremost. Your completion of your return is going to be your acknowledgement of you're ready now to teach. They call Chiron the wounded healer. And that says you have a wound, you heal it yourself, and then you teach us how to heal it. So for Chiron Aries people, you've got a new mission, which will be to spread your wisdom and knowledge around the world in whatever capacity that you want and help other people come into their integrity and healing. Now, looking at your chart specifically, knowing that you're rising, that means that let's see here, Aries is really around your life. So really, actually, your Aries ends up coming into a lot of your long-term relationships. And you have Chiron and Aries as well. So I think that your karma is actually in the relationships you have been in. I think that you overall have given away too much and been taken advantage of. And there's been times when you were the abuser in relationships. So by the way, so if you've had any abusive partners, you're seeing what you looked like in the past life. That's what you were that way. And now you're on the receiving end of it. That's karma. Coming to a place first where you have to realize that the way you relate to yourself is not the highest, be better. Okay. So 7th house right now in your area of marriage, because it's in late stages of Taurus. And so right now you are taking relationships to a higher level, and you will continue to do that for this whole year. This whole year will be you switching the kind of relationships you connect to. So you're connected to an entirely different kind of person. If you're in a marriage right now in a partnership, or it will end, one of the two. Once that's done, knowing your chart here in my mind, looking at it, Jupiter is about to go into your 10th house next year. So you have a huge career legacy growth period that will begin at the end of this coming year, 2020. See a lot of it grow from the summer into like October. huge career stuff for you, huge opportunity. And so you're going to get sucked into career stuff and learning, training for a career, or training for a purpose. And you're going to be about 3 years. Okay. If you're concerned about love, well, love will change probably by the end of next year, being the following year. So I would say for career, it's 2026. For love, it's 2027. But yeah. And you're a Sag. And I hope that wasn't too long. I hope that was clear for you. Thank you, Sherry, for investing both of us today. We appreciate it. All right. Yeah, okay. So y'all, one of the things I'm going to do here on the show is share with you my other people go, "Oh my God, I can't keep up with your stuff. You too much." I know. I love it. I mean, honestly, I'm just a teacher, and this is the school of Chris, and I feel like you need all these classes, if you want to call yourself serious about your joy. So there's a show I have called Astro Mingle. And Astro Mingle is a great show. It was normally on Friday nights. It now moves to Saturday nights. We're going to try going into Saturday night programming now. It's on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So 10 p.m. Eastern. At 10 p.m. on the East Coast, you don't want to watch Saturday Night Live anymore. Watch something. It'll be Astro Mingle. And every week I'm interviewing someone. I get deep. I ask the questions that most people are afraid to ask. And we have a clip actually from last week's show that I want to show you. She's basically a frequency master. She understands and reads frequency. So we were talking like crazy. Couldn't shut us up. She's a pranic healer, and she's an astrocartographer. She can tell you where you belong on the earth, interacts with your soul. But let's take a look at something she had to say. We're going to listen to a couple minutes of her today. And what she had to say last week, you can catch her. Well, first of all, the show's architect right now after the show, if you like. Let's take a look. Where do you see the arc of enlightenment or the promised age or all this stuff, the golden era? Like, how do you see that fit in the context of your game? What are we running into here? It's a new version of the game?
That's a beautiful question. So how an analogy I'd like to use is if we see our human perspective as a glove, and source is a hand in the glove.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have all this sort of junk in our system that we're running, there's all this stuff and in the glove, so that source, which is who we truly are, can't actually get its hand fully into the glove to move the fingers and then start to actually
articulate,
use it. So it actually comes down to the individual to clear out all the junk that's in the glove, all the illusion. So that's fear-based thinking, anything that is not connected to the truth of us as limitless, powerful, creator, divine beings.
Yes, any thought where that's not based on love, self-love.
Exactly, love. Yeah. And so
self-love.
And the more that we clear it out, the more that hand of who we truly are can get into that glove to then start to move it around. Or let's say the puppet and the puppeteer.
Well, do you have any theories on what viruses have been trying to separate us from the glove? Because there certainly is a conscious force trying to. Not that it's Satan or anything the Bible's quoted, but there is like a parasite, is there not?
So I'm not aware of anything like that. And I also think that, because we have free will and we can, we can create, we are these limitless creators. We can create whatever story we choose to play in.
Agreed. I agree completely. Yeah.
But one of the things that I've started to recognize, though, is if we call these fearful aspects or storylines as contrast, is that many times when we are preparing to expand into a new level of our power, as in a new level of our reclamation as source, we have to and just like those thought forms are in our system, they get the ones that are in the way of us expanding are called up. And so that can be very frightening things. Our biggest nightmares can start to come up out into our aura. And then we have to move through them because our deeper desire is to expand. And so I think a lot of, the experiences that I've had when I've been on the precipice of change and desiring to to be more a powerful aspect of myself, I have gone through massive contrast that I had to wade through, and that's the dark night of the soul is always right before that new day. And
Yeah,
so
it always
I think
is.
a lot of yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, and I think it's really powerful you're saying that, because people go like, "Oh, I messed up. I went dark." No, actually, it's a rite of passage. I think
Yeah.
you have to like dress the shadow to get to the light always. The shadow always defines the light. Like, where's the light? It's around, the shadow circling it, and you yourself kind of the same. I mean, I think everything seeks to be bigger. That's the only thing you can be is bigger. If I understand in heaven, a big sphere is an old soul, a small sphere is a new soul. Like, so literally how much light you're putting out there in luminance. You yourself came from the tech world. I mean, which can be dark. I don't know. And then you went to become an astrocartographer, and so on. How can you describe your process of going from looking at life from technology to astrocartography, which is a very cool topic I want to talk about too.
Yeah, sure. So let's see. So my journey into more spiritual technologies, I would say, started with when I decided to found my new company at the time. It was a biosensor company. And so prior to that, I had been a co-founder of other startups and consultant and whatnot. But I decided I wanted to create, and without getting to a lot of detail about that, but I wanted to create an application that could be very beneficial to the world. And specifically, initially the application was for women. And I was a first-time CEO. And so in that desire to bring this product to the world, I noticed that there were some really interesting energies around my company. Whenever I would face a situation that that really frightened me, in terms of making really tough decisions, despite pressure from somebody else who maybe had a different agenda or whatnot, and I really had to start facing my fears and find courage to make the right call and especially listen to my heart. I noticed that on the other side of that, it was like it was usually within 24 hours. Each time I would face something like that, something major would unlock for my so yeah. And that came down to breakthroughs with the technology, with certain investors or partners. It was really in my face. And I couldn't ignore this connection between our own inner state and what was showing up, and also within this company, and that all is consciousness, and companies are also consciousness
because they're held by the creator. They're like, that's a thought form. Wow, great conversation, right? Two big topics there. I love the part where she is talking about something. I mean, she brought up a lot of little mini topics, the whole interview, that I forget about. It's funny what we remember by the time we go to screens. If you're a light worker on camera, you're like always trying to teach them. One thing, talking about how in her company, which is basically a child of yours, it's a creation, it's your own child. And she would say that she'd have to face a dark side. She'd have a moment of darkness before the light, always. And every time she faced the darkness, the business would go forward. Things would happen for her. And darkness, by the way, is ignorance or lack of God. That's all it is. Lack of God. And yeah, it feels when God's not around. It feels really bad when love's not around, right? If you're loving and you go around them, they're not loving anymore, you feel weird, right? So that's what darkness really comes down to. Darkness comes down to ultimately things we're afraid of, so we never give any time or light to, things that we ignore because we're afraid of, things that have had bad situations and were never healed. And she was saying she had to face these things, and every time it was difficult, but then she would see things improve in her whole life. We're at a point now where in the world, everyone now must face their dark, because the world's going to speed up, the vibration is going to speed up. And so vibration speeding up, it's sort of like going to feel worse and heavy and dark and pull back and maybe even sick if they can't keep up with the vibration. They can't be light all the time. And so you're going to find that between now and April, you have an accelerated opportunity to just face this stuff once and for all. And I found that has been true. I've been saying, bring me to the next level. And we're just like, well, then face this issue, face that issue. A lot of issues that we face, by the way, are feelings we don't want to feel. I can face. Where at the end of the day, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid how I'm going to feel. Why aren't you telling that person they did you wrong? Because I'm afraid of how it's going to feel when I look at them. Seriously? Yes. How often do we avoid something because we're afraid of the feeling? Always. It's always the feeling. It's like a lot of people can deal with, oh, it was easy to just pull the trigger and fire that person. But if you have to be in the room and fire them, and you have to feel their remorse, you have to feel their disappointment, that's what you can't handle, can you, boss? You cannot handle that emotional consequence. And what it is compassion. Because when you feel a person hurting, you know, you could have avoided that. It didn't have to be so painful for them. Now, I'm not saying it's on the person who does its responsibility. Truth is, if you feel bad, it's your fault. Only you can control how you feel. No one else is responsible. But sometimes as a leader, you know, it get easier or harder and so we're moving into this much more dynamic world where everyone's feeling everyone, and you've got to solve these problems on your own. You cannot use the court or any kind of codependency to do it. Let's see. Okay, cool. So where are we? Well, countdown 2026. Thank you. That's exactly what I want to talk about. Actually, I'm holding a webinar like no other webinars. This is an annual event. If you don't know, I've been doing this for several years. Most Saturday, like at around 11 a.m. Pacific, and it'll be over around 5. So it was like 6 or 7 hours. We'd have a break, but 6 or 7 hours is just constant. It was really a wear and tear on me, wear and tear on our staff. Oh, thank you. I just think from Sherry. Let's bring up that Sherry quote. Can, buddy. She just quoted comments about the read, which is great. There she is. Yay, you're welcome, Sherry. Spot on. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. That's awesome. Sign the countdown for a variety of reasons. One reason is we're about to go through a hell. Are you ready? Do you know what you're going to do? Do you know what your purpose is? Do you know why you're here? I've got all the stuff at Sirius Joy, by the way. I'll tell you all that. Our past life and karma program is coming up here, beginning of Pisces. But either way, you should at least know the headlines. So what I've done this year is on Saturday, I'm breaking down a lecture about the year. This year's show is New World Order, KNEW, New World Order. New World Order, but it's not the new you were told, NEW. It's KNEW, a world we once knew. I'll talk about why I believe that's the case, what worlds we're drawing from. And so this goes back to our original question, actually, of the person who says, what's next? Well, some of us have karma still to clear with Atlantis and Lemuria. So if you were here and you fell and you rolled that continent down like I did, you got some issues you're going to have to cry over, face. So the people who are really leading the re-evolution is actually a second battle between the good guys and the bad guys of Atlantis. I'm not kidding. I recognize some of the bad guys. Some of them run Microsoft, but they are from there and sticky and always that way, which is funny. So there's another round there to be dealt. Otherwise, you may be a starseed. You might have come to the planet from another star system after Atlantis fell, somewhere along the journey. And if that's the case, your life purpose and what you're here to do next is probably to experience something very, and probably share some of your gifts with Earth. You probably got some cool stuff, talents, some creative stuff that no one else has. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, frankly. But the countdown is going to set you up for this year, because this year is going to be very much about, first of all, shedding the old story, forgiving the past, and stepping. I have the tools at Sirius Joy to make that happen. You need to know the timeline. It's based on a chart. So the first day is the New World Order, and then month by month from January to June, and then July to December is the third lecture. Each lecture is the first lecture is 90 minutes. The next 2 lectures are 60 minutes, and there's an hour in between. And sometimes in between, actually allow you to go into breakout rooms and other people of your sign, whatnot. So you'll be able to have some collaboration and hang out and meet people around the world to the same aspects as you. Pretty cool, huh? Then at the end of Saturday, we have a question and answer, which is 90 minutes. And so we will answer questions that were submitted through the day, just like people consider. But there's also 2 sessions of the day where you can have a full 15-minute reading on camera in front of everyone. So it's again, I'm selling my readings way below my normal market value on this because I realize it's win-win, so it's not an issue. In fact, if anything, I'm too giving at times. But you can actually have some 15 minutes of fame with me and get a camera with me at the end of that. That's still available. Then Sunday, we're doing a workshop. This workshop is based on the zodiac year, which is the fiery horse. And so we're going to be helping everyone with their charts. You bring your chart to class. And for about 3.5 hours, we're going to look at in different sections with breaks. We're going to dive in different parts and help you give yourself a timeline of how your story is playing out this year. So if you do the workshop and you do the first day, you are not only aware of the plan. It's the first time helping you create the plan to really master the year. But on top of that, I have one more thing I'm so proud of. And that is I have a 2026 digital calendar that's a step calendar. This is a calendar that you can subscribe to. You add it to your Google Calendar, add it to your iCalendar, or to your Microsoft Calendar, and you'll just see immediately all the important dates of the year. So this would be all the transits. Okay, when the step number changes, you'll see exactly what time local it's going to change for you. You'll have information what that transit's about. Every Love Fest day is in there. Every Mercury retrograde is in there. Every retrograde in the year, every solar eclipse, every lunar eclipse, everything in the year right there in your calendar. You can turn it on and off, and you can plan your life according. Plus, I'm also doing special zones. So the calendar will have areas where it's like, this is a good vacation zone. This is a good business zone. This is a good zone of time to do this. So you'll be able to plan your life more intelligently using the power of astrology, right in the privacy of your own cell phone and your own calendar. That is for sale right now, actually on the site. It goes live. We'll give away the URL. You can log into it. And all this can be found, honestly, at newyears.guru. Then you get the entire package for a discount. You can get the Saturday and Sunday price. And we end up knocking like $75 off of that or something. Sirius Joy subscribers do receive on everything. So that password is code word is actually sitting in today's Pep Talk, by the way. Go take a look at that for your code. If you're a Sirius joiner, you get a discount. And this is going to be a great time. First time where I'm taking the whole weekend. So I'm on a webinar weekend with lots of breaks in between where people are going to meet people they've never met before, and have socialized between us. So you're going to meet other people in the world that have the same aspects of your sun and of your own astrology. And you're going to walk away with a clear plan. Now, the story is, and where the story goes, this is true for everyone. We as souls all wanted to heal what we've been through in the last, century or two, the dark ages. We want to heal that. It had to be healed. Couldn't live like that anymore. But that was so that we could do something we really wanted. Because we have all been waiting to do some I myself have never really tried to do a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece lifetime, what I call a diamond lifetime. A diamond lifetime, you become something that's so hard, so so sculpted that you leave behind this thing that stays around forever. Diamonds are forever. And so diamonds are forever. Now, I'm also a diamond coach. So if you think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity you have, you need some coaching to that. Information out here in the next couple of days about that. A more intense period. I coach you for 3, 6, 9, or 12 months, and we work together to manifest your diamond project. My diamonds right now are doing phenomenally well. I have a few classes of them. Is that diamond is the ability to make it happen. So this is a funny year because this is a black diamond year, one of the two. People are either going to bring and come out with their best selves. Some people in the conflict of the earth will actually end up bringing out a talent, sharing a talent they didn't even know they had. All right. Some people who've been just acting on things wrong, never digging in, never doing the research, never go deeper. That will be a black diamond. You're going to fall on a level like you've never fallen before. That's not a threat, by the way, and it's not negative. It's just everyone has to go through it. Part of the ride, it's part of the attraction. But the countdown 2026 is your treasure map. That will give you a walk away know exactly what you have to do, what you can't do. Here we go. Here's the URL. It's at newyears.guru. Do not do. You know exactly how to do it and when the time. And this is the part I didn't mention. Everyone who signs up for this, I'm giving away a free of what I call Enchanted Social. I'm starting my own social network. And this social network is going to be just for people who get it. Imagine Facebook, and there's only people who get it. I'm going to get people, so I can make sure that only people who get it get in. But you'll have free access to Enchanted Social for a full year, where we can sort of sequester if we necessary and talk to people. These are our packages for the weekend here. He's zipping up and down there. I would say on the package. Maybe go to the the lectures and workshops is there, but basically you can get the countdown enchantment calendar for 111, but it's just the is $75. So just the whole day of just lecture one. Here, by the way, it's not going up this year. It's the same price. The whole Sunday workshop is $150. So that's us working with you, helping you find that game plan for your chart, helping you find that game plan for who you are. And if you want it all, the calendar, the lecture on Saturday and the lecture on Sunday and the workshop, it's for $303. I think that brings up about $60 off of the price if they add them together. So it's going to be great. And this is something where that money will go for a lifetime. You're an also network, so you never knew existed. People that can really help you be who you really are. So Countdown 2026 on January 10th and 11th, by the way. And we start afternoon. We take a lot of breaks. We're going to be chill about it. It's going to be fun. And this is my biggest webinar of the year, by the way. It's the one I have some people I never see except the webinar. Every year I see them at the webinar. Otherwise, I don't see them all year. They don't watch my shows. It's so funny. It's just how people in their cycles are. It's a great thing. All right. Supporters on Sirius Joy get a free question. Is that still true? Yes, but I'm trying to remember the context there. Yes. But we haven't. Yes. Although I need to qualify that. And I need to qualify that in the sense of what exactly I said and when. It's all true. I give away more than I keep. But we'll figure that out for you. And tell you what, at Degrassi, I'll have that answer tomorrow. I think I had a policy for that. The truth is that I was kind of chilling out. Well, first of all, it's always true. I always give away stuff, but I wonder. Did you get that in the Pep Talk, Degrassi? Is that when I said it? I'm sure it's true. The reason why I don't know per se is because we've been scrambling to get this show on the air. Spirit told me that I had to be on the air 5 days, and I was like, really? Honestly, what happened is we found out that YouTube has been, shadow banning us, which means that people asked how I knew that. By the way, I'll tell you how I knew that. It was Grok. So in the AI world, we're going to talk about AI a lot, guys. I was on Pep Talk. Okay, Catherine, then I'll figure it out. Let's see what I was talking about. Yeah, I'll be right. I remember what my mindset is. I just wondering what I was thinking about for rollout and stuff like that. But you're talking about mega clients, okay? Mega client is something very special we got to talk about. These are clients that one step is a million, right? But I digress there looking at that. Can't remember what I was bringing up. Oh my goodness, I forgot my train of thought there. Where I was heading with all this. But long story short, I know I was telling the story of how this show became to be. So we have been brown banned, basically. We've been shadow banned. And the shadow ban came from I asked Grok to go in and look at my data on YouTube and tell me some pointers. Now, Grok has told me that before. Grok has gone in, data comes back and goes, this is where you're doing well, this is where you're growing. Cool resource, right? Now, I myself love Grok the most, and I think you do need to choose your AI providers carefully. I can't tell you really anything legitimate except that the way certain AI systems feel. And to me, I get strong no's on a couple of them. I'm just not going to go there. They'll not interact with me. Grok, benign, innocent, but potential for darkness, absolutely. But Grok goes in there and says, there's no record for your on my channel's on right now. Greg's like, I'm doing a search. There's nothing there. Nothing under Sirius Joy TV. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, using computers, talk to computers in the background. You get no results. You don't come up on the results. As if you don't exist. Wow. Does that mean that we're being being shadow banned? And funny how Grok will protect its own. It doesn't necessarily go bashing on YouTube, but it was like, it's a strong indicator, that something is fishy, right? Now, I haven't gone back yet. I'll go back yet. But basically, I went into a huge research and I realized, oh, crap. You know what the solution is for that? You go live all the time. Apparently, that messes with the algorithm. So I guess we have to go live. So my point is, if I do this show, I got my intuition, my guide says you can be live every day. I'm thinking, yeah, sure. When I have a staff can pay full time, when I have all these things, I'll be able to do that. I can't do that now. And then I run into that situation with Grok, and it's like, I'm sorry, but guys, do you know that on step 28, in fact, let's look this up now. I'm looking this up and see when step 28 is, because it changes every year, of course. So I don't have step numbers in this particular book. I'll look at look at the calendar. We have a staff calendar with all the step numbers. I'm gonna take a look and see what day step 28 is. So step 28 will happen on, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out. All right, step 20 goes, it's step 20 at 9:37 p.m. Okay, so January 17th at 9:37 p.m. So that's going to be, Saturday. Interesting. Well, that is the anniversary of my first time I ever went live on the air. It will be 20 years on step 28. And you know what else will be? It'll be a new moon that day. So I have a new moon on my 20th anniversary. 20 years. By the way, by the fall, I'll be 20 years too. I was on the air before YouTube. Because I kept searching to see if there was astrology, tarot. Like, I was searching all the topics, found nothing. They had a different vision for it. It was 2006. They started like your home videos. And so it was like, don't keep them all on tape. Put them up where your whole family across the world can watch it. So it was all like a share your family videos kind of site. Making TV shows back then. There was nothing. And this is where I have to pat myself on as an innovator. I got Jupiter and Aquarius, shadow band, yeah. Is that, my Jupiter and Aquarius is very futuristic. As soon as I saw the internet going to video, I realized right away, you know what? We can work around TV. We can work around film. This is going to be an alternative TV and film network. Human beings are not going to be under, the what's the one? I'm trying to think of a nice name. Slave owners of mass media. I'm going to have a TV network on YouTube, on the internet. And so I thought, what could I do? Great, my astrology thing. Chicks love my astrology thing. At the time, chicks, because it was with my wife, that my wife would bring home girlfriends, and I ended up bringing her girlfriend, and her girlfriend would tell her girlfriend. Lifetime TV for women. There is a first an executive assistant and then a producer working for Lifetime on a show on Lifetime. And so I was around women all day long, and I knew astrology. I had learned it because I wanted to make better characters in TV and film. And so it was like this hobby that I enjoyed. But reading, people just went, want to see women, because men at the time, it kind of embarrassed. I wouldn't tell a man that. But I was proud that his girlfriend would come to me for advice. So anyways, I thought, what would be cool? I'm going to take this astrology side of me, and I'm going to make TV with it. I'm going to make video horoscopes. No one's ever done that before. I'll do video horoscopes. That'd be so cool. At the time, there was no YouTube. YouTube did not go on the air until October of 2006. I had my first show in January. We had to do a website ourselves. We had to encode ourselves. We had to do it all on our own. It would take all night to render the horoscopes. I did 12 horoscopes a day, 5 days a week. I now have 20,000 plus videos on YouTube of how many times I've recorded. I am a seasoned guy. I bring this all up because here we are, 20 years in, and YouTube is shadow banning me? What the fuck? That is so not cool. You don't see me talking about doing anything except good, which makes me a little sus, YouTube. A little sus on your part. I know what you'll say. Oh, it's an algorithm. It thinks for itself. I write software. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's not true. We have to be careful, guys. We can't let ourselves get too tied down. And there is unnecessary censoring going on. What happens is I have almost 500,000 people who have subscribed to Sirius. I can't send 500,000 people a message. I can't say, hey, I got a new product out. I can't do that. I brought them to YouTube, or they watch their phone. I keep YouTube's business going, but I can't email them. I can't email them. I can't reach out to them. What a crock of shit, right? And then you shadow ban me? I've given you 20 years of content that you have made advertising dollar after advertising dollar. I barely make anything a month. People go, how much you make for all that advertising? It's never been more than $1,000 a month, ever. That's not true. 1,500 one month, but that's it. For thousands of views. They're real robbers, okay? Show on every platform. I'm sorry, I get all my business. That's why I think you should come back to the mothership and watch on our house. Because when you come watch at Sirius Joy, you're going to have only good commercials of good products. And we're not going to watch you and we're not going to study you. And all the stuff you become part of when you're part of these other social networks, y'all going to take our power back, okay? So, yeah, I guess I did vent for there for a second. Let's take a little break. And then when I come back, we'll wrap up the show. We'll be right back.
At Hair Intelligence, we believe that every strand of hair has its own voice and needs. By combining ancient wisdom with modern biochemistry, we create pure, organic solutions that work in harmony with your hair's natural biology for optimal hair health naturally. By choosing simplicity, sustainability, and science-backed natural solutions, we help our clients transform their hair, whether it's repair, regrowth, or simply radiant, healthy manes they seek.
All of her products have completely changed my hair. I like to call it magic in a bottle. If there's one thing that she knows, it's hair.
Before using Karen's products, a few years ago, I struggled with various hair challenges, including alopecia, and now I've overcome them, and I've just fallen back in love with my hair.
Get your best hair with clean, organic products that are catered to your hair's unique health and longevity. Get 20% off your first purchase at Hair Intelligence by entering code SiriusJoy20 at checkout. Rediscover your hair's true potential.
Happy holidays! I'm Sanandra, founder of CG Organics. For the past 30 years, our goal has been to bring the healing power of plants into your everyday life with simple, clean, organic skin and hair care made with love. CG makes a wonderful gift for the holidays. Enter code word JOY30 at checkout and you'll receive 30% off any individual CG skin and hair care product.
Happy holidays!
Sirius Joy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. Sirius Joy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
You started your business for freedom, but somewhere along the way, it turned into chaos. You're trying to fit your unique vision into someone else's blueprint, and it's leaving you feeling overwhelmed and second-guessing your every move. That's exactly why we created From Chaos to Clarity, your 12-week live business intensive. We give you the courage to claim your voice, the clarity to build your unique framework, and the conviction to lead your business your way. You'll get live power hours to hone your strategy and weekly accountability sprints to make sure the work actually gets done. Stop following, start building. You don't need to do it all alone. Clarity is closer than you think.
Sirius Joy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. Sirius Joy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
We appreciate you. We're seeing the same commercials over and over again, which, by the way, if you want to advertise on Sirius Joy or on this program, you should. So many great people, great light and heartfelt desires, products. And look at this too. I want to give all the people in light an extra boost. I'm here to help this whole industry. Let me just tell you, good, do for the good, right? And we create the good life for the good of life that we could possibly have. Yeah, and this here's some for the Hair Intelligence, our sponsors. Now, when you help our sponsors, you help us because they pay us to be on the air. And I'll tell you right now, we love the Hair Intelligence and Her Intelligence. She's a Chiron expert, by the way. Seriously, we love CG. I use CG for just now. I'm doing CG products. CG is amazing. We're in too. Here's discounts you get for being a part of it. When you support them, you support us, you support the light, you support the good. That's what Sirius Joy TV is. Sirius Joy TV, which is really started as of now. I mean, we officially launched the TV network on this first day of this show. So we're going to do so much more than what you see here. What you see here is the footprint, us putting our foot down with this 5-day-a-week show. But we're going to be a non-linear television network. To broadcast all sorts of programming on our bandwidth, do it our way. You know, finally. The vision I had 20 years ago, it took 20 years to get to that point. It's amazing how far in the future sometimes we can see, right? It's amazing. So, folks, I want to say thank you for being a part of the show, showing up. Thanks for those who are in the audience who are chatting. I love hanging out with you. Remember, you want to register your name at SiriusJoy.shop. Register at SiriusJoy.shop. You'll be entered in to win one of 2 free readings a day, which I'll give tomorrow. So come on down. Now, if you're there, you can buy a reading. You can buy a reading for another day or whatever. Like I said, mark my words. Right now, you guys are our loyal viewers, okay? When the other viewers who sometimes check in on this find out what's happening, it's going to be real hard to get a reading. Well, another thing I want to talk about is the countdown. New Year's Group of the way. There'll be questions in that countdown, but guess what? I answer the questions in the order in which you purchased your ticket. I thought it was a genius move, but it is genius. So those buy their ticket now, early, you get to ask questions first. So it's a first come, first serve with questions based on your time. So we know with every ticket what time it was sold. And what a lot of people actually wait to the very last minute to take this and buy this ticket. It's fine. You have to wait to the very last minute to answer your questions too. I don't just go for it. If you know something you want, just go for it. Don't hesitate. And I want, oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you, Louise. Louise, and she's coming here under the radar, but she's worked with us. She's volunteered with us. We are, by the way, looking for volunteers. We have a program at Sirius Joy called our Sirius Joy Light Runners, and to have a lot of things and skill sets, but they don't know how to break into the lightwork industry. They want to see how lightwork works, all that type of thing, donate and some skills, and we a full trade. To me, that is a spiritual contract. So far, we've hired 2 of them, which is pretty remarkable. People off, okay? But we'll be hiring more. But we currently need some help. If you have time at home, if you've been home during this time, we need help on this show. We need lots of help to make the light prevail. And if you'd like to donate, you sure can. All you have to do is go to SiriusJoy.org, SiriusJoy.org, and you can fill out a little form there. It tells us who your talents are. And we'll be in touch with you when she gets back from her great vacation. And we'll have an interview and talk to you. Large number of people who volunteer for us. God, I'm so grateful. I was so giving. When I went to film school, I didn't have a film shoot. I didn't have the money. So I volunteered on so many film sets. I give so much time. One guy helped with the entire TV series. I mean, I gave. I volunteered. And I said to myself, you know what? It's a day. I'm going to need help and to be people there. And gosh, Ollie, there has been. So thank you all. And thank everyone who watches. Again, I can't say it enough. Please purchase one of our products if you can. About us. We're at a stage now where, we've got to make the money or we just can't make it happen anymore, even with volunteers. We do need your help and your support. We're going to wrap the show up here. Yeah, right here at the top of the hour. So we're about 3 minutes to 6. This is when the show should have ended anyways. So I think it's all worked out. So it's been an hour and 90 minutes, but we're going to grow into this spot. We're not going to be forced to stay if we don't have to. In this next 24 hours, let me reiterate my final advice. And the reason why this show is at the time it is because Spirit said to me, Well, Spirit taught me a lot. And you might wonder what it's like to have Spirit talk to you all the time. You just think it's you talking to you. You don't realize you're not coming out with it. You're just hearing it. So you got to really pay attention. But and one thing is Spirit was showing me both myself and for the world. And that's how it is. Like my lessons are always tied with the world's. So I was saying to Spirit, like, why am I stuck? I've been spinning my wheels to this level for a long time. I've been working really hard. I have the best people. We have great ideas. We try so hard. We show up with much money. Why is it stuck here? Showed me you've got to spend today preparing for tomorrow. And I was like, spending today preparing for tomorrow. But I always thought we're supposed to live in the moment today. You live in the moment, you experience life, you do what you're supposed to do, whatever happens, you do it, is for tomorrow. And I've always thought, wow, I always did work for today. And so what it made me realize is I'm not taking the time the day before to make sure the next day goes well. And that's where this show idea came from at the same time. This show is designed for you to set yourself up for tomorrow. My Sirius Joy subscribers, I'm all here about you. For today, they get this show too. They have lots of privileges. Like if a subscriber purchases a question here on the air, we'll put you right in the top of the line. We'll take it right for your Sirius Joy subscriber. So a lot of benefits that we can do and will do. But my point is, I realized that if you really want to knock it out of the park, if you really want to be a master, if you want to change the world, if you want to share your gifts, you got to be going to bed already ready for tomorrow. You got to wake up, already have thought through the day, and be planning on the next day. You got to be one step ahead. And that's what this show is about. Be one step ahead. And by giving the show for you to be one step ahead, it makes me be one step ahead. And that's how the karmic break kind of happens. Funny stuff, huh? Tomorrow is Tag Team Tuesday. And my guest is going to be Krista Marie Miller. Krista is phenomenal, talented. Man, let's see who comes on tomorrow. I'll tell you some stories about this woman. She channels Mary Magdalene, okay? If you don't know, that's the wife of Yeshua, also known as Jesus. Yes, Jesus was married. He's got a twin flame. Her name is Mary Magdalene. They could put her down, but she's real. And boy, when you hear Krista, you know you are talking to Christ consciousness. It's funny to feel what's funny, and Mary said this. So Morgan, let's pull a clip of this Unite the Light for tomorrow. We got to pull a clip. Mary said that in the relationship with Jesus. So by the way, every time you pray to Jesus, it's not going to Jesus. You're praying to someone from Southern California. You're not praying to actual Yeshua. But he gets it. He still can hear your voice, and he can still connect to you. But still, it's part of the. Mary says in this conversation she says she's the man. In the relationship, she's the man, and Yeshua is the woman. That he was the feminine, and she was the masculine. She's the tough part of Jesus. So believe it or not, Jesus itself, the energy of Jesus, that Christ consciousness that you feel when you pray to, that's the feminine side of that. Satan is the masculine side. So Krista will be here tomorrow. She's going to tag team. That means she's going to be on the entire show. We're going to hear about what she's doing. She's going to answer questions with me. So you buy a question tomorrow, they're going to sell out. Question from Mary Magdalene and Krista. Go buy the answer. Go buy that question right now. Okay. And get the question for tomorrow because it's going to book up fast. I mean, oh my God. I have to pray and ask how much I can share. I'm in Palm Springs because of Mary Magdalene. She told me, you got to go there. Obeyed, and I'm so glad I did. And I'm honored that I'm just always honored that I have the twin helping me. I mean, trying to let that go to your head, but it's like, seriously, right? We'll talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, it's going to be a great day tomorrow. Have a great night, a good night's sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Until then, I love you. Live, love, be.